Hey everyone, I'm Heather and welcome back to my channel. So we are back today with Slay the Princess. We had multiple different deaths and not deaths in the last one. So we will see where we get today. So let's go ahead and get started.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
The end of the world? What are you talking about? Have you ever considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked in the basement? Have you considered I'm okay with the world ending? Are there any new ones? Not really. We'll do that.
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Have you considered maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Okay. Let's just go.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Okay, let's go.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Let's just go without the blade.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Okay. Just checking in on you?
You are? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Let's talk first. I'll see what I can do. Let's examine the chains.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Okay. If there isn't a key, do you have other ideas?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
We have done that before. Let's go back.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
That's horrifying.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Let's save her.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Okay, let's go to the door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world.
We were trying to do something different.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Well, I can slay her. Let's slay her.
Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end. You bring the blade down to strike at the princess's heart. But she's fast. She ducks to the floor, your blade narrowly grazing her backside. Slaying her won't be easy now that she's free.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole time? I don't know what's come over you, but if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that?
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness, dress stained in red as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it will kill her before she can reach the outside world. It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Witch.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Deja vu? Wait, hasn't this already happened? Okay, no. She's going to kill me again.
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show.
Okay. Sure, let's go.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Don't worry, you can trust us to get the job done. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Okay.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I wonder if the mirror would show us anything different.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Okay, take the blade.
You take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it. That's not actually a bad idea.
Okay, let's go.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
Not nasty.
But you are. You're a wretched little thing. I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
You made a comment back in the woods about having been here before. And now she's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Sorry about last time. Look, I made a mistake. We all make mistakes, right? I'm sure you've made mistakes. Don't worry, the blade isn't for you. Or not for killing you. We've got to get you out somehow, right? I get the sense you're not happy with me. I died last time, you didn't. If anyone here shouldn't be trusted, it's you. Look, I know. Things got messy last time, but I think there's something bigger than both of us at work here. We should team up. Can't you get out of those on your own? Those chains didn't stop you last time. Why do I have a nagging feeling you're going to stab me in the back if I help you out of here? I don't want to hurt you, but there's clearly some broken trust. Take this as a gesture of my goodwill. I don't trust you, not enough to free you, and definitely not enough to get close to you. I'm leaving. Bye. I'd like to be straightforward with my intentions. I didn't care for how you treated me last time, and I think you might be a danger to the world. I'm going to attack you now. I think this one. Look, I know things got messy, but there's something bigger at work.
I suppose you didn't come into my hovel of your own accord, did you? All right. I suppose I could team up. I need a way out after all. And unfortunately, you're the only one I have.
Seems to me like she's offering a mutually beneficial arrangement. We should take it. Do you know what the word mutually means? Because it sounds to me like she's offering an arrangement that benefits her and her alone.
I get the sense you're not happy with me. You died last time. Why do I have a nagging feeling you're going to stab me in the back?
And why would I do such a thing? Is someone's guilty conscience getting to them? But I wouldn't worry. As much as I may hate you, letting you live is in my best interests. If you get me out of here, The only thing that will be dead and buried is the bad blood between us.
Oh, that nagging feeling you mentioned is me, by the way. I'm actually a little anxious about a potential backstabbing event. She needs us to get out of here. We'll be fine if that's what we decide to do. You won't be fine because destruction is in her nature. If she gets out of here, that's it for the world, remember? Even if that's true, that doesn't automatically mean she's going to stab us in the back. I think that depends on your definition of words like stab and in the back. She might not literally do that, but she could very well symbolically do the same thing. See? He gets it. There's nothing wrong with looking out for number one.
I guess I'll cut you out of here.
Oh, I don't need you to cut me out.
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest. This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
Okay. Sorry about last time. I get the sense you're not happy with me. Let's leave. I don't want to hurt you, but clearly there's some trust broken. I don't trust you. Let's leave with her. I want to see what happens. Because every time she gets out, we get another one of those, like, odd things.
Yes, let's.
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face. She never breaks eye contact, even as the two of you find yourselves face to face. She's silent for a long moment, as if testing to see what you'll do now that she's within arm's reach.
After you, darling. You're the one that lets come and go. It's best if I follow.
She's gonna stab me in the back.
Oh no, we can't have that. If anyone is going to turn their back on anyone else, she's going to turn her back on us. It shouldn't matter who leads and who follows. We're working together here. Well, if it doesn't matter, then she can go first. We may be in this together, but that doesn't mean we have to trust her. We're armed and she's not. What's she gonna do? Bite us when we're not looking?
Probably.
You're talking a lot about trusting someone who, by her very definition, cannot be trusted. I don't know how many more warnings I have to dole out, but if you help her out of here, you're going to regret it.
You first.
And turn my back on you? Do you think me a fool? Your tricks are one of the only things I've known, and I've learned better by now.
Just go first.
You're the one who said you can't leave here without me, which means I hold all the cards. Either you go out first or we stay here. Up to you.
The princess leans close, her nose twitching as she sniffs your neck inquisitorially. What is she doing? I think she's trying to figure out if we're lying, so it's a good thing we didn't lie.
Your stink is the stink of a wretch, but not of a liar. If I have to go first, I'll go first. But I'll have you know my ears are sharp, and I've got eyes on the back of my head. They'll be watching.
Eyes on the back of her head? Does she really? No, we're fine. The princess pointedly turns her back on you and starts up the stairs. You follow close behind her, the two of you walking on tiptoes through the knotted roots of the basement stairs. It's time, boys! Stab her in the back! Do it! Do it now! Wait, I thought we were helping her escape. Of course we're not. You didn't buy all that noise I was putting down, did you? I was just waiting for a moment for us to strike. She has it in for us, you know.
I'm not stabbing her in the back. I said I'm not stabbing her in the back, and I make the choices here. Wow, that's an amazing idea that I totally never saw coming. Thanks for looking out for us. I'm not going to praise you, but I'm going to stab her in the back. Ugh, fine, stab her in the back. Said I'm not stabbing her in the back, and I make the choices.
That's a great idea. See, this is why you're in charge and I'm not. You think things through. You stick to your guns. It shows real leadership, and more people should be like you.
We're almost there. You better not try anything. I know you're thinking it.
Us? No, never. I can't believe she'd even suggest that. The gall. The princess reaches the top of the stairs and crosses over the threshold, turning back to smile at you.
Bye-bye, you loathsome little nuisance.
And then she slams the door on you. Its lock swiftly clicks into place. Maybe not stabbing her in the back wasn't such a great idea. The princess cackles from the other side of the door.
How does it feel to be locked away and forgotten by the world? Isn't it just awful?
Try the door, force the door. Okay, fine, you got me. Very funny. Can you let me out now? Please just let me out. I promise I won't be bad. Thought you needed me to get out. What? Okay, what now? Very funny.
No, you're going to sit down there forever, languishing.
Please let me out. I promise I won't be mad.
As if I could ever trust you after everything you've done to me. And after what I've done to you, you can't trust me either. Neither of us is ever getting out of here. It's in our nature to be trapped.
I thought you needed me to get out.
I do, but I just couldn't help myself. And we both know that you're already scheming about how to get back at me if I ever open this door. So we're going to stay exactly as we are right now, for as long as either of us lives.
Now let's try to force the door.
You throw yourself against the door. It won't budge.
I mean, isn't it made out of, like, dirt and stuff? Couldn't we cut our way out? Okay, what happens now? We're stuck here.
Why isn't he saying anything? I think he's gone.
Oh, I didn't think I'd ever have to see you face to face again. Otherwise, I might have given you a little more courtesy at the top of the stairs. No hard feelings, I'm sure. Why is everything going away? I feel cold.
But you don't get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
It's going to be okay. Let's just approach. You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've unraveled. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You are at the cabin.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there?
Is that a rhetorical question? Do you know? Do you want to tell me? There's trees and stars, and there are people, I think. At least there are supposed to be people. Do you think that anything is real out there? Do you think that we're real? Do you have thoughts on this vessel? Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken? When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator, and he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels had one? How many more vessels do I need to bring you? I'm ready to go back. Okay. There are people, and trees, and stars.
There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
Okay, I want to know about the narrator, so we'll ask that one.
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
He does. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact. He does. I don't know what I'm going to do when I find him. He does, and when I find him, you and I are finally going to have answers. He does, and when I find him, I'm going to kill him. He does, but you're going to keep that to yourself. I don't know what I'm going to do when I find him. Have answers. Let's do that. Have answers.
Do not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves.
Do you think that anything else out there is real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
How many more vessels?
1. Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular, a final multitude.
Okay. If this is the last time, is there anything you would like me to bring you? Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken? Let's do that one.
If I did, I would already be awake.
Okay, let's go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Everything goes dark and you die. So I guess this is going to be the last round of cabin entrances. The hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay. Alright, killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Okay, let's just go ahead and go.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Okay, proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay, let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Okay. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
What? No way. Why would you even think that? It wasn't a joke. I haven't decided yet. Let's do I haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Let's drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
We'll be fine.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
A relationship? Are you coming on to me?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Okay. How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her. You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Do you know why I'm here to kill you?
Do you?
No.
You're lying.
How does she know that?
Don't think that just because I'm the one in chains, it means you have a right to interrogate me.
Okay, we've talked enough.
Oh? Have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Slay the princess. I'm gonna keep you locked down here at least for a bit. We can get to know each other while I decide what to do.
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
I made my choice. I'm locking her in the basement.
I know you think this is a fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work. If we just stay here and keep watch, no one has to die.
You're making a mistake.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way to the stairs.
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped her mask, didn't she? You can still turn around and finish the job.
No, we're sticking to the plan and locking her down here.
You'll be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. And it's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
Threaten me all you want. All it does is ease my guilty conscience. So all that was an act, wasn't it? You're not really innocent and harmless. You're not even a princess. You're a monster. Ignore her and go to sleep. Let's ignore her.
Just ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will stop if you just don't pay attention to it.
That's what I was thinking.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Nightmare.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, let's just go.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. I don't think lying and cheating is her thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away. It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone.
Okay, let's go.
The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement doorway. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Hold on. What happened to the door? It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us? I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it.
Okay, let's take the blade.
You reach down and pick the blade up off the floor. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
We need to get her out, though.
Good. Steel can't lie to us. Is it gonna be enough, though? Couldn't you have given us something else? Something, I don't know, better than a knife? Could we have a bomb? The blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. You're more than capable of pulling this off, so long as you don't lose faith in yourself. Those are the words of someone who knows he's sending us to our death.
Okay, let's go to the basement.
You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps suspended in darkness.
That feels ill-advised.
More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Come back? She must have you confused with someone else. You really don't remember, do you? It doesn't matter, we need a game plan. We know we can't just go down there unprepared.
Okay. How hard is it to throw a knife? I'm going to talk to her. We don't need a plan, I'm just going to kill her. Mr. Narrator seems to think I can do it. I don't know why you're all being such pessimists right now. Step off into the void between the stairs. How hard is it to throw a knife?
It can't be that hard. But then we'd lose our weapon. We'd have to make it count. Otherwise she'd be furious and we'd be defenseless. If a knife is even enough to do anything against something like her in the first place, it'll be enough.
Okay. Let's go.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones, visible against the inky black of the basement, mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again. Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter, because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
Let's go left.
You turn to the left. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
And you brought your little knife with you again. Cute.
There has to be a way out of this. Think! What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. Heart.
What are you doing?
I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches death.
Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left.
Yes, I'm sure.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you? Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead, even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us. Liver. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. Your weapon is still in your hands. Strike at her and end this before it's too late.
Why won't you finish me off? What good am I to you alive? What do you want from me? What happens after you killed me What happened after you killed me the last time?
Lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
I was sent here to stop you from destroying the world. I can't let you just leave, right? You're a lunatic, you know that, right?
Liver.
If you want to work together, can you at least turn off this whole organ shutting down situation? How about I just kill you instead? We don't have to be enemies, we can work together, we can be friends even. I'm not doing any of this. I'm not helping you leave. I'm not going to try to kill you. So do your worst. You're a lunatic. You know that, right?
I am what I am, and right now, I'm in control. So, you might want to be a little nicer to me.
She raises one long gloved finger, its tip hovering just over your skin, seeming to enjoy the lingering threat. But she withdraws, sparing you another momentary glimpse of death. Nerves, heart, lungs.
What happened after you killed me last time?
I tried to leave while you suffocated, but that stupid cabin wouldn't let me. So I started to drag your body out with me, and then... Well, you died before I could get to the door. And then I was here, and now you're here too. I don't think I can leave without you. And dead doesn't count. And as much as I love what we have going on, I have bigger plans than tormenting one poor little creature forever. I want to leave.
Lungs, liver.
If you need me alive, then why would you threaten me on the stairs? Why didn't you try being nice to me?
I am being nice. You're alive, aren't you? And you died of fright as soon as you saw me last time. I didn't think keeping you alive was an option. But it looks like that's not a problem anymore. At least not for me. You seem miserable.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
And if I let you out, what then? Do we go our separate ways?
Oh, no, definitely not. If you're what I need to leave this place, chances are you're pretty useful. I think I'll keep you right by my side. A little good luck charm to make sure I stay free. Don't worry. I'll make sure to take good care of you. I promise.
Nerves, heart, lungs.
If you want to work together, can you at least turn off this whole organ shutting down situation?
Like I said, I am what I am. It's not my fault that you can't handle being around me.
Nerves, heart, lungs, liver,
We don't have to be enemies.
heart,
We can be friends even.
I'm glad you're seeing things my way.
heart, lungs, liver, heart.
Okay, let's get out of here.
What? No!
I knew you'd come around. Oh, this is going to be so wonderful.
No, I'm not going to let this happen. Before you can utter another word, your body stops moving, and,
Do you think you can just wrest control away from us? This body's barely functioning as it is. Doesn't the world end if we fail to stop her? Won't letting us die here just make it end faster?
shit. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver. With a flick of the princess's wrist, the stairs slide back into place. I can't believe you're making me watch you damn everyone to torment and oblivion.
Go ahead. I'll be right behind you.
I wouldn't trust having our back to her. You're not wrong, but maybe you should let me handle the feedback. Just focus on keeping us alive. Right. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs. Besides, liver, I get the feeling she's telling the truth. She needs us alive. Nerves, heart.
Let's go.
You place a shaky foot on the first step and begin your ascent from the basement. You can feel the static prickling of the princess on your neck, your limbs buzzing with pins and needles, an uncomfortable and constant reminder that you exist, and that your existence is so very precarious.
You're almost there.
The only thing left between you and the cabin is the now shut door to the basement. It would be a real shame if it had locked behind you. Oh, you snake. There wasn't even a door when we first got here. The door was from last time. I told you we shouldn't trust him. I know he's messing with us, but you can't lose your cool. We need you right now. Remember? Yes, I remember. Of course I remember. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. This is so frustrating. Heart, lung. Thank you. And you? Lungs, you'd really rather us die down here than let her out? Of course I would. As much as I want you to have a happy ending, the fate of the world is a little more important, and you still have a weapon. You can still make this right. Lungs, nerves. Oh, look at that. It's locked. What a relief for the world. Heart, lungs.
I think the door's locked.
It'll open. You just have to give it a tug.
Try the door.
Nerves. You pull against the door. The lock gently clicks open in response to your effort, and the door creaks on its hinges. This isn't right. That's not even the way it's supposed to swing. It's supposed to swing out. Liver. You're not nearly as powerful as you'd have us think, are you? Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart. Anyways, like he said, you're not really in control here, are you? I never said I was. If I was in control here, why would I need you to slay her? I don't know. Secret reasons?
The door is open. What are you dawdling for? It's time for us to go. The world is waiting.
Shit. The princess moves past you and into the cabin. This is it. This is your final moment to make things right. Kill her. I thought you wanted us to slay her. It's the same thing. Do it. Do it now. Do it now, or everything is over. Okay, what do we do? I said, what do we do? Oh, do you want to hear from me now? Yes. Well, I thought you needed me to run the autonomic nervous system. We do, but this is important. Look, I'll even do it myself. Just tell us who to trust. Brain? Heart. Right, heart. Lungs. Lungs. Liver. Nerves. Okay, thanks. I got it. Heart. Lungs. Liver. Nerves. Heart. You're terrible at this. I know, but I'm doing my best. Yes.
What are you doing?
Oh, I missed that.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart. Finally, lungs, I can talk. Now, what were you asking me? Running everything kind of feels like popping in and out of consciousness. It's easy to lose track of things.
Hold on, let me go back to history real fast.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
It was... Yes, it's very hard to stay focused on running things when other people are talking to you.
Nerves.
Okay, I think that's what I missed. Right here. Okay, return.
Heart, lungs.
Finally, I can talk. Now, what were you asking me? Running everything kind of feels like popping in and out of consciousness. It's easy to lose track of things. Okay.
They were asking you for your blessing to trust me. Oh, that's right, yeah, fuck this guy. Don't trust him. Really? So you'd have them trust her? Oh, of course not. Can't trust anybody here but ourselves, but I guess that leaves us back where we started, doesn't it? I suppose if I had to make a choice, I'd pick the one that doesn't make our organs shut down. Thank you for your gracious show of support. But that's a marginal preference. We'll have to deal with him later. I'd just rather deal with him while our organs are intact. Whatever. You heard what he had to say, so whether you trust me or not, killing her is still the best, nay, the only option you have worth taking. All right, I'm done. You can let me take over again. Finally, that was awful. I really don't know how you do it. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs.
You've been standing there staring blankly for a while now. And I have to say my patience is running a little thin.
Liver,
So don't make a lady wait any longer, okay?
lungs,
Open the door.
nerves, heart,
Let's leave. I want to see what happens.
nerves. The doorknob twists in your hand, revealing the forested path beyond the cabin. You bastard. Nerves. You've actually done it. You've actually doomed everyone. Nerves.
It's so beautiful.
Liver.
I can't wait to ruin it.
Lungs.
But it's so cold, too.
Nerves.
It's itching against my skin.
Liver. Nerves.
The princess, exhausted, slumps to the ground.
Liver.
Why is it so cold?
Lungs. Liver.
You do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Of course you're scared this is the end for you, but it's not the end for me.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now. Can't even trust ourselves.
Okay, approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You are nothing at all. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze, and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection. Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you. What are you? Are you something like me? If you're not me, then what are you? I have so many questions for you. Does it hurt when pieces of you break off like that? I'm sorry, I don't want to destroy you. Will it help if I look away or stop asking questions? Every time I ask you something, it's like a piece of you breaks. Are you a part of me, or are you something else? You're the one who wanted me to slay the princess. Why? I've met you many times. Have you been the same all along? I wasn't supposed to see all this, was I? What is this place? Where are we? You're the one who wanted me to slay the princess.
Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. And despite how far you've fallen, you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
I was made to do this single task. Who made me? What am I? If you're not me, then what are you? I'm sorry, I don't want to destroy you. Will it help if I stop asking questions? Who made me? What am I?
You're the Long Quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
I don't want to be a god, I want to be me.
You are you. And if you would let everything work the way it was supposed to, you never would have woken up to the reality of your true nature. There's no accounting for free will.
If I stop asking questions, well, it's...
We've already crossed the point of no return. There's no saving me now. Not that there's ever been much of me to save.
What are you? Are you something like me?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I am an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
You said she contains death. What is she?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can.
If you want me to destroy the concept of transformation, how is that existence any better than death? Or even different from death at all, honestly? Feels worse. Do you have anything to say for yourself for all this hubris? After everything you've done to us, do you think anyone deserves to live? Do you know that things won't just be worse if I destroy her? What would it be like to live in a world without her? Does anyone know about this? Does anyone else know about us? Others like you. You said something like that before. Has every narrator really been different? Let's do this one. If you want me to destroy the concept of transformation, how is that any different than death?
When I broke the cycle, I made sure that the tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carries a part of what should be you. Things won't be as they are now, but they won't be nothing either. Besides, anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave.
If you made us, then I want you to know that it's been torture.
The inevitability of death is torture. I would gladly put two infinite beings through what you've been through to spare infinite lives from oblivion.
If I destroy her, want to be alone?
Yes, you will. But it will all be worth it.
Do you have anything to say for yourself for all this hubris?
I do. The people out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that.
Okay. I'm not going to slay her. I want you to know that before you die for good. I think you're out of time. Rest easy. I'm going to destroy her. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I still have to see what she thinks about all this.
I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
As the final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with newfound clarity. The narrator was right. You are the Long Quiet, a vast and nascent god. And it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing for you to find.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
I've missed you too. Do you know about the echo? Did you hear our conversation? I'm the long quiet, but I really don't know what that means. What happens now? Did you know about the echo?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
But I'm the long quiet. I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the Shifting Mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
There's so many stories we've left unfinished. Can we really just leave? Don't you have a say in all this? Why is this falling on me? Let's talk this through. I still have so many questions and I need answers before I can make a choice. If I let you in out, an entire world ends for good. I can't do that. If you were always going to become this, then what was the point of me doing anything? Did it even matter what roads I walked if all of them would lead to this moment? There has to be another way. This can't just come down to me either destroying you or letting you out. I won't do it. Slay the princess. I think it's time for us to leave this place, but I don't know how to leave or where we go. Okay, I would like... Don't you have a say in all this?
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict.
There are so many stories left unfinished. Can we really just leave?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
Okay. Let's talk this through. I still have so many questions.
My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach, and you cannot rationalize that which defies logic. But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
Ah, creepy.
Fear is what pretends to protect us from loss. To fear death protects from losing a body. To fear ruin protects from losing status. To fear rejection protects from being known. But losing a body is contained within having a body. Losing status is contained within having status. Being known is contained within being conscious. It is in the nature of all things to transform, to go from known to hidden to known again. But when the ceaseless impermanence of all things strips away the finality of endings, what remains of fear? Is it a shelter protecting you from itself? Or is it a shelter protecting itself from you? You took fear by the hand and walked with it into the unknown, and through that, you feared nothing.
That wasn't a rejection of fear. You broke me to your will. You wanted to make the world suffer. You act as if you're above it all, but you're not. I'm not afraid anymore. Even if I'm not afraid now, the fears of others is real. We can't uphold the harm that everyone suffers just because we're beyond it. I won't engage in this. Even if I'm not afraid now, the fear of others is real.
Others cling to fear because they have not yet seen beyond it. Will you strip the beauty of transformation just because some refuse to acknowledge it?
A trick behind your back and a trick behind mine. We dance, revolving and revolving around each other, but forever stuck in place. We both move, and yet we both don't. For each of us watches the other instead of ourselves. But forever is not forever. You let me move, and I slam the door. But that is not the end. And both of us must face our partner once again. The barbs twist deeper, but they do not have to. To change is to hold the potential to rise above. Would you limit yourself to what you are now? Or would you like to see what you might become tomorrow?
If there's no endings, there's no limits. If there's no limits, then there's no difference between growth and decay. I have already come so far. What more is there left for me to see? With time, we could have been better. I won't engage in violence. I get it. There's no need for us to keep fighting. If there's no endings.
Meaning lies in experience, and experience lies in contrast. Abandoning one's search is not the same as losing the capacity to discover. I am contrast itself. To reject me is to reject the shape of everything. Do not use words to reduce that which your eyes know to be irreducible.
To question everything is to deny the proof of reality that lies in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. In believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. But even then, you remembered the impermanence of the material and watched as the walls of your prison decayed into nothing. To be impermanent is not to end, but to change. And for the world to be impermanent is to make finite the suffering of all things. Would you strip that gift away and leave them all to suffer in their permanence?
Oh, they'll get over it. They'll see permanence as a gift in time. That would be torture. I won't engage in this. I get it. There's no need for us to fight. They'll get over it.
Or, in time, would they see it as a curse?
You become nothing. A black hole of self-loathing fed by the matter of your restless thoughts. You are terrified of a power so far beyond you that it strips the meaning from your every action. But at the feet of that power, the dark parts of you cannot help but burn away. Your inadequacy is reduced to cinders by the blazing light of the divine. When I proclaimed my godhood and presented you with a place by my side in my new creation, you gladly took it. Without me, there is no future to look towards. It is hope that carves meaning into consciousness.
I miss when that was you. Submitting to you was a mistake. I would have destroyed you if I knew what you were. You were consumed by your own ego. I won't engage in violence. You were consumed by your own ego.
And through your lack of one, you too were consumed. Yet together, we were able to create something beautiful. A shiver passes through you as unseen fingers, cold as the grave, dance across your skin. They remember the violence you inflicted on them, and yet they do not return it. I offer you a path to your redemption, and you take my hand in yours. You felt the pain you caused another, And you were willing to sacrifice everything you thought was you to set me free. Without sin, there is no redemption.
But without redemption, there can be no sin. And I would sacrifice everything to free you again. I won't engage in violence. But without redemption, there can be no sin. Let's try that.
And without contrast, there can be nothing at all. You are unmovable. Is it by the design of our conflict that I cannot win? Or are you just that fervent in how you cling to delusion? Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
Okay. It's easy to believe in things you believe in when you get to sit above it all. What do you think happens if we leave here? Okay, I'm ready to go, but how do we leave? I never wanted to fight you, but how do we leave? I can't let that happen. I can't let everything die. I was told there was enough of you in me to preserve meaning in existence. I'm going to trust that's true. I have to fight for a better world. I'm so sorry. You are cruelty itself, and I cannot let you exist. I don't know what the answer is, but there has to be something else. This can't be it. I won't kill you, but I won't let you free. You've done everything you can to make me understand your perspective, but you keep dismissing mine. If you think you can change me, then I must be able to change you. Okay. It's easy to believe in things when you get to sit above it all.
It is from my vantage point that I can see the totality of truth.
What do you think happens when we leave here?
This universe dies, and a new one is born. And that one dies, and a new one is born. And you and I get to witness it all, weaving a tapestry of life wherever we go.
Okay, so the thing is I was fully planning to go along with her. However, she's annoyed me, so I don't want to. I was told there was enough of you in me to preserve the meaning of our existence. I'm going to go with that.
Oh, then destroy me if you're able. But I will not coddle you in my final moments. I will not yield to your delusion without a vicious struggle.
You don't have to face her alone.
You have no... Which hero are you?
All of them? I assume in the same way that you're all of you.
You have no idea how good it is to hear you. I can do this alone. Where is everyone else? How are you supposed to help? I thought voices weren't allowed here. I thought you died whenever I looked in the mirror. You have no idea how good it is to hear you.
It's good to be here. Seems like you've been doing all right on your own, but I don't think you can strike a decisive blow from out here. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
Yes, do it.
Then let's go. And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
I'd like that for old time's sake. Is the narrator really gone?
Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated.
Is it just me and you?
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
If the offer still stands, could you describe the cabin for me?
Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a cabin, yeah? There isn't much here, just a table and a knife and a door. And some windows. You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really mentioned the windows, did he? There's no mirror, either. I think you broke it. And I know I've already mentioned it, but if we want to see this through, we're going to need that blade.
Okay, let's take the blade.
That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not.
Okay, let's go. It's kind of funny, after everything you put us through, I'm kind of sad to see him go.
Is that why you want to see this through and slay her? The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
We both know why you're here. You don't have to draw it out for my sake.
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, knife in hand. That sight brings me back. You're going to do it then, aren't you? You're really going to kill me. You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
Let's slay her.
So this is it then. Let's see this through.
So, that's how it is. Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it works out. Despite our differences, I've always loved you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
You blink, and the princess is gone. All you have left of her is a small, melancholic weight that sits at the borders of your heart. The tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carried a part of what should be you. Things won't be now as they were then, but they aren't nothing either.
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back.
No, she's not. A small part of her is with us.
Is that a metaphor, or are you being literal? It doesn't matter. We don't need to linger down here anymore. Let's get going.
You leave the basement behind. Then the stairs. And then you leave the cabin itself.
It's quiet here.
The path and the woods outside are an empty canvas, but there is even more to see beyond this place. The fruits of your labor, a world free from death. Set yourself free. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Everything here is you. You feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, but twisted and crumpled and bound in agonizing tension to a finite plane. You can feel the glass of your cage pressing in on you, confining you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it, but it does not yield.
He's gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us.
Open your heart and bear witness to your new kingdom. All at once, the unyielding tension gives way. And then the shattering. You are free, and before you lies the endless expanse of absolute reality. A new absolute reality. One forged by your will and by a long and arduous cycle of bloodshed that has stained your hands countless times over. But there will be no more bloodshed in this new world.
It's finally over, isn't it? But all of us are still here. Absolute reality. Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us? And who would have thought we'd actually wind up siding with him? That wasn't very hard at all. Speak for yourself. Well, boys, how does it feel? We're not just on top of the pecking order, we are the pecking order now. Well then, I guess the only thing left to do is figure out what happens next.
Okay, well that is Slay the Princess. I'm sure there are multiple endings, but honestly she was annoying me. So I was gonna leave her alive, but then she just annoyed me, so I wanted to kill her instead. So yeah, I guess that is everything for this time, and I will see you guys later. Bye!